Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. So today's challenge is going to be based in Factorio. We're going to be racing to build a rocket as quickly as possible. I'm going to talk about this a bit more once I actually sort of properly start the stream in about apparently 6 minutes. That's what I'm going for at the moment, or just over 6 minutes. That's what I'm decided to go for, it seems. And then once that's up and running and I've gone through and talked about what we're going to do, I shall then actually kick off the challenge itself at 3 o'clock on the nose, and that'll allow everybody else who's playing as well to do their attempt, and we'll see how it goes. So the interesting thing about this challenge, I'll give you a little bit of background while we're waiting, but do feel free to sort of ask other questions or just join in chat as much as you want and give me something to talk about for the next 5.5 minutes. Um, the basic idea is that we're going to have to build this rocket without being able to see without being able to put any resources into the machines. So the idea being that you have to try and build something, but you can't go in and test it. So you have to rely on how good you are at being sort of observant and checking your working as you build something. And if we're being honest, I'm absolutely abysmal at this sort of thing. Every time I build something in Factorio, I then have to spend a little while afterwards going around and just sort of, turning around all of the inserters that are pointing in the in the wrong direction, that sort of thing. And fixing up the belts that are pointing in the wrong direction and haven't been put in properly. So I suspect my attempt at this is not going to work. But the idea is that we've got about 10 people, I think. I'm not 100% sure exactly how many. We've got a number of people. We're all going to do our best. We're going to come up with a factory that will hopefully build a rocket from free resources. And then tomorrow I'm going to come back again at 3 o'clock, and I'm going to run all of the factories that have been sent. Granted at a sort of faster speed, so we don't have to wait for too long. And we'll talk about what people have done, and we'll see who wins the competition. So the idea is, as I say, is to build your factory that will make a rocket as quickly as possible. The winner is going to be the person who, when I combine the build time, so the actual play time today for building their factory up, and the amount of time that it takes for their factory to build a rocket, comes out on top. So, for example, you could not cheese it, but you could optimize one or the other. You could build a factory very, very quickly today that does the absolute bare minimum to make a rocket, but will take several hours to actually do so. Or you could spend lots of time today building up a factory that will build a rocket as quickly as is possible from what you've been given. But then you'll have to spend a lot of extra time today building it. So it's going to be interesting to see how much of a difference in range there is in the build times and in the actual construction times. Um, I don't know. They're both called build. So the building the factory and build versus building the rocket. I'm also definitely going to give an honorary shout out to whoever builds a factory that can build a rocket the quickest. So, I've still got another 3.5 minutes. I'll pause on what I'm saying now, unless anyone's got any questions or wants to join in with the chat. It's not too late yet to join in the challenge. So if you still want to have a go and you haven't joined in yet, come along to the Discord, highlight one of the admins, and we'll add you into the challenge and give you all of the information you need, and you can come along and play as well. This is probably going to be one of my shorter streams. So we did have one of the admins did a trial run of the game mode a week or so ago, just to make sure that everything would work. So he's already had his go, and I've very carefully not looked at his save in case it gives me any ideas. He took slightly less than an hour, so I'm reckoning that 2 hours should be plenty of time. Um, I'm probably going to end up being a bit slower because I'll be interacting with all of you guys and sort of chatting away, and that's going to slow me down a little bit. But I'm not eligible for the prize anyway because I'm an admin and it's my server and so on. So it'd be a little bit silly for me to give myself the prize. So it doesn't really matter if I'm a bit slower, apart from for bragging rights. I have noticed that the Discord channel based around this challenge has gone very, very quiet. So I think everybody is really is working really hard on sort of trying to come up with ideas before we actually kick off, because they can't start building yet because they haven't got the world to build in. Hey persistent, hey lobster, welcome. Yes, the slightly less than an hour was perhaps a little bit of a rush, and things didn't go as quite as they should have done for you. Spoilers. But yeah, I think slightly less than an hour is probably ambitious, but I think but if it takes more than it shouldn't take more than 2 hours, unless you're a complete beginner at Factorio, I guess. Yes, taking deep breaths, getting ready, getting psyched, getting ready, and building up everything for the getting yourself ready and psyched up for the run is an excellent way to prepare. Very good plan. And 9 minutes left, and you'll I'll give you the link. So it's not long to go yet. And well, if you, since you're watching, you'll have a few minutes of where you'll see what the map's going to look like. Obviously, you can't start building, but you'll see on my screen as I sort of point at things and describe what everything does, because I think that's going to be a nice way to introduce it. But obviously, I won't start building either because that would be cheating. I'll just sort of gesture at stuff and say, "Look at all of this! Look at this magnificent pile of Factorio nonsense I've built." Yes, Mike says there's a bonus point for not using any belts at all in your factory. That strikes me as ambitious, but also yes, if you fancy a challenge, I suppose you could. Resource throughput is not unlimited. However, there is a significant amount of resource coming out. In fact, there's 20 less than 20 seconds left. Let's show you what's going on here. So this is what you will be greeted by when you start the run. So we've got this area inside the walls here. Is you are not allowed to touch this area. This is out of bounds. Everything in here is pre-configured and is what you've got. Yes, John, I will definitely be going over the complete rules. In fact, let's do that now. Now I've got things to point at and gesture at, and let's move my OBS window off from over the Discord so I can actually read the rules off it. So the big point of the whole point of this system is that over here we've got all of these. If you'll notice that all of these belts are currently blocked off by the circuits, and because I'm not allowed to touch anything inside here, I can't do anything about that. However, I can build more stuff on the outside like this, and we're using creative mod, so everything is free. You'll notice as I build, actually the number is going down there, but yeah, everything is completely free. You're never going to run out of supplies to build with, and everything is nice and quick as well. But you won't actually get any resources fed out until after it's done. Well, I'm afraid you only get well. You can split them out into 12 yellow belts of ore and iron and 12 yellow belts of copper. Will that work? Hmm. So yes, the point is that none of this can be turned on until the save game has been handed over to me, and I'll run them all tomorrow, and we'll find out how things go. Um, so you're not allowed to touch anything in here, but this area does provide you with this pylon down here at the bottom. There is an unlimited supply of power, which will be turned on once the switch will be flicked. So you've got unlimited power coming from here. You've got unlimited resources, but 4 belts of each of these. Um, and let's see what else. There's a nice big radar here that gives me lots and lots of radar coverage. So there's a big area to play with. Now you're welcome to go outside this area if you want. You just won't have radar if you do. Electricity is all completely free. And then the idea is everyone just and the idea is once you've built your rocket silo, which you can, I mean, building a rocket silo is easy. You just go like this. Boom, there we go, finished. And then you hook this up with a red cable. Oops, to your to the You hook this up with a red cable to your, hang on, that wasn't a rocket silo. What was that? What was that I just put down? I'm very confused. Anyway, yes. No, okay, sorry, no. You put down your rocket silo, you have that output into a chest, then you link the chest to this pylon. So when the first white science pack hits the chest, then the timer stops. There we go. And yes. So you don't actually have to wire up to the silo. I'm being an idiot. So there are a few little rules that need to be mentioned. One thing is you're not allowed to use external blueprints. So if you've made something in here, like if you've made your own smeltery area and you think that's a great smeltery area, I want to have another one of that. You can copy it, you can paste it as many times as you like. You can do stuff like that. That's all absolutely fine. But you're not allowed to bring in any external blueprints from outside the game. That's considered cheating. You're not allowed to spawn in items and put them in chests. So you're not allowed to spawn items generally. So I can't pull in a load of iron plates or explosives or rocket fuel or anything like that and put it into chests. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to use any of the creative stuff because that's going to get a little bit silly. You are allowed to use bots, but only if you build them yourself in the factory and as part of your build time. No, you're not allowed to use solar because I don't want anyone to get a head start, have a factory get a head start, which you technically could if you did. And that's basically it. To be honest, I can't think of a use for the uranium, but I was putting all of the other resources in there as well, so I thought, why not? So there's some uranium you can play with if you want to. If you can think of a useful use for it, or if you just want to, I don't know, eat some of it. Up to you. You could build a nuclear power station if you want. I don't think it'd be very helpful or very useful, but the option is there should you feel the need. Should you feel the need? Exactly, just for the lols. Yeah, but I was putting all of the other resources in there, so I thought let's make it complete. Why not? Um, yeah, so that's that. With creative mod, you can do convenient things like when there's trees and cliffs in the way, they're really easy to get rid of, like that. You just use a deconstruction plan and boom, they've gone. Um, Landfill is also unlimited. Basically, everything's unlimited. You can knock yourself out. You can go absolutely crazy. Do whatever you like. Build up as much of a monstrosity as you want. I know certain people have ideas to try and make designs that are going to make me cringe and and feel very ill when I see them. But yeah, there's you've got the freedom here to do whatever you like and all of the space you could possibly need. There's no biters because it's not about that sort of thing. It's just yeah, going to give you the option to do whatever you like. I don't. I've been trying very hard not to make Plansburger, because that would could be kind of cheaty because other people only found out what the rules were 25 minutes or 28 minutes ago now. So for me to, I obviously knew the rules in advance because I came up with a challenge, but I've been trying quite hard not to think about it too much because if I start making plans, then it just gives me a bit of an unfair advantage. The other thing that's quite interesting is I've been playing so much space exploration recently that I can't even remember what really goes into a rocket in vanilla. So there's going to be a lot of going to be a lot of me just scratching my head and going, so what do you need for this and what do you need for that? And oh, I can't remember why don't I seem to need acid for processing ore anymore? What's going on? It's going to be a bit weird, but I'm hoping that I can get back into the vanilla mindset reasonably quickly. Yeah, so trying very hard. Yeah, 2 minutes to go, very nearly there, and then then we can go. So yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be fun. As I say, if you do want to take part, it's not too late. If you jump into onto the Discord server and ask an admin to make you part of this, then I'm sure they'll be very happy to, and you can join in as well. Um, Never too late. I mean, to be honest, even if you don't get to start at the right time, just send me your save game over anyway, and I'll showcase it tomorrow and talk about it anyway. You might not be eligible for the prize, but at least you can have the fun of playing and the fun of seeing your factory test run live for everybody to see. Uh, you can place your bets in advance on how many of the factories you think are actually going to work, and how many of them are somebody's going to have forgotten a vital inserter somewhere, or crossed over their iron and copper belts and got them the wrong way round, and so absolutely nothing's working. It'd be very interesting to find out. Okay, time is getting very very close. It's now 14:59 according to my computer, and I'm prepared to believe it. As soon as that ticks over, I shall send the save game out to everyone. Um, I shall then wait a moment or two myself because I don't know. There we go. There you go. There, everyone. There's your save. Go and grab it. Copy it into your saves directory, and you can go. I'm, as I say, going to wait a moment or two before I get starting because I don't actually have to download and open the save because I've already got it up and running here. So yeah, I'll have a bit of a think about what I need to do. Thank you, Peter, and good luck to you too. And good luck with your power supply as well. You need one of these active energy sources in your house, so it just keeps everything running even when the power's being dodgy. Right. Okay. I think that's probably enough thinking about it and prevaricating. So right, let's have a look. To make a rocket, well, I'm going to need a rocket silo obviously, and to put this is going to take rocket control units, low density structures, and rocket fuel. So I'm going to need to work through and make those. Now, rocket fuel, I'm fairly sure, even in this version, that's solid fuel and light oils. That's just basically oil processing. Okay, that's fine. What's the low density structure recipe in vanilla? Where even are they? There's going to be a lot of me staring at. Oh, there they are. Staring at this, trying to remember how to make this. Copper, steel, and plastic. Okay, so it's another oil-heavy thing. And then the rocket control units. Those are probably going to be the most complicated. They take blue circuits and speed modules. That's going to be that's going to be the challenging one to make. I think the rest of it's all relatively straightforward. Okay, well let's start off with the easy stuff. I'm going to want various metals. So let's bring the in fact, you know what? Let's clear out tree. Let's do a bit of deforestation first because that'll give me a bit of space to play with. If I get rid of all these trees, then it's going to make things a little bit easier, and I'm going to have a bit of space to play with. Right. So up here, I'm going to want to make let's make steel right up at the top here. So that's going to be lots of electric furnaces. Now how many of these do I need? So they're crafting speed of 2, and the recipe for cooking iron plates takes 3 seconds. Oh, I don't know. Let's just put down about 10 of them or so. Oh, okay. Never mind. Don't worry. I wouldn't worry too much about that, Peter. About the right, and that. Why am I doing it like this? Let's 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 be slightly more sensible about this. Let's actually put in the let's do the copy pasting properly. So obviously I'm going to use stack inserters for everything because everything is free. Uh, Copy. And one of the things I need to worry about in this run, of course, is having power for everything. So I need to make sure I don't care, just do it. So I need to make sure I don't forget to power all of my everythings. What's that? Oh, it's a piece of the spaceship. I didn't tidy up properly after myself. Oops. So there we go. That's an input. That's going to be steel. So we'll have I don't know, a quantity of steel coming out here. To be honest, I'm not so worried about getting everything at the perfect ratios and working as fast as possible. I'm mostly worried about putting down a design that I'm not going to screw up too much and will continue to work. I'm also going to need power for everything. So let's have some, where are they? They're in here. Let's have some substations. There's no reason not to use substations because they're just big and easy and everything's free. So I can put that there. Let's try not to cheat. There we go. There. And then, oh, along here. Okay, they don't all fit. That's a shame. Even a substation doesn't have quite enough coverage for the for a full steel smeltery like that. That's a bit of a shame, but I can work with that anyway. Where's the gap there? Okay, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So oops. Right. So there's a problem with the replay. So I have replay mode turned on this, but unfortunately, because some people or the latest version, I'm not running the latest version apparently. I probably should have checked into that, but so the replay is causing difficulty. So I've just said if you're seeing that same problem, just don't worry about it. Carry on anyway, and just play anyway, and I'll have to trust you that you're not cheating. Right, so that's covering up into the into the inserter there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to whack a load of medium power poles along the middle because it seems like the easiest way to fix this. There we go. Right, so everything should now be powered in there. And if I look at the map and turn on the grid mode, then I can those are not connected. So I'm glad I checked that. Let's put another one there. There we go. Nice and simple. Right, so that's fully powered. That should now be steel made. Now I think steel comes out quite slowly, so I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to make a second one of these. It's going to be my second row of furnaces. That's now also too close, so I'm going to remove all of this, save that for a bit, and I'm going to need to landfill in up here because I didn't plan ahead properly. Where's my number pad? There's my number pad. Right, so make the landfill brush bigger. And one of the things I've learned about Creative Mod is as long as you hold down Shift, you can just landfill over a huge area like that very, very easily. If I hadn't held down Shift, then it would have pasted it in on top of the it would have used up the stuff that was in my inventory, and I'd have run out very, very quickly. Slightly too far apart. Okay, there we go. Are you all connected up? I honestly can't tell. I don't think you are. Nothing has quite the range I was hoping it would. Right, there we go. So now I can continue this belt up here. Oh, need to add some underground belts to my what's in my pockets is. So as you can tell, I'm building things a little bit quicker than I normally would at the moment, in an attempt to try and play with the the objective of doing things quickly. But I think hopefully I'll be able to keep up. Right, next I'm going to do 2 rows of iron, and I think that's probably a reasonable amount. So we'll copy that chunk across the middle there. I'll put that in there. I'll play vaguely tidally as well. Standing on the belt. Well done. And there. There we go. So that's the iron now all being smelted, at least in theory. So that goes in there. That one in there. I don't believe I need concrete for anything, so I don't need to worry about having another a supply of iron ore going off anywhere else. So I think I should be all right with with these metals here. Right, so that's the all of the iron dealt with. So we're going to have 2 belts of steel coming out, 2 belts of iron coming out. I think I'm probably better off, as I was saying, probably I think I'm better off not when working doing trying to do the numbers too carefully and trying to. I've forgotten power, idiot. Hey Joel, this is the Factorio rocket race that I've been advertising for quite a while. So the idea is build a rocket in Factorio, but do it blind, so you can't see what you're building until it's too late. Or rather, when you can't see whether the buildings you put down are working properly until it's too late. So I think it's going to be interesting. Um, as I say, anyone who's in on my Discord server is welcome to join in the challenge. You just have to go in and say you'd like to be part of it. So it's still not too late. You'll be at a slight disadvantage because we've been going for a whole 8 minutes already, but that's not too much of a disadvantage. Right, there we go. So now next one is going to be the copper. Now I've put this all a bit too close into the where the stuff is coming out. So I think so I'm going to bring the copper a bit further out and for that. So it's going to look a little bit untidy, but never mind, we can cope with that. So, but the recipe for copper is exactly, or the way of producing copper is exactly the same as the way of producing iron. So we'll just do that again. That's going to give me the 4 belts of copper coming out the other side of here. That one comes along. Typically it's one out, but never mind. Out there. Like that. And like that. Now, the problem with copy pasting everything like this is if I've made a mistake with one thing, then it's going to affect absolutely everything I've done. But yeah, you don't need to define recipes on these things in vanilla, so that's okay. But I think that's probably all okay. The inserters are all pointing in the correct direction. I don't actually need these pylons up the middle of these rows. They're completely unnecessary now because of the because I put the what do we call it these ones are a bit smaller because they don't need the double cook for that like you have to, in order to get steel. But if I have a look at the map now, I can see that yes, I've got the power brought to. I still haven't got it to everything. There's a bit missing up there. Thank goodness for that mode. Right, so let's put in another pylon like that. There we go. Now everything should be linked up and everything should be powered. I say should be powered. It's not going to be powered yet. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to copy that, and then we'll bring the stone out like this. I'm just going to bring that down, I think, for now. And the same with the coal. And the liquids, I'll deal with the fluids in a moment. Okay, so that's my basic metals done. So now that's going to give me the supply of steel, the supply of coal, the supply of, yeah, can't play this game. The supplies of iron, steel, and copper that I need. So next, I think I don't really. I'm going to need the coal in order to make plastic. So let's do some. Let's have another quick look at the recipes actually, but just make sure because I don't think I'm going to need anything other than light oil. So we need sulfuric acid for that one. We need plastic for that one. We don't need anything for that one. We need coal and petroleum gas. So yeah, there's no point in using the advanced oil cracking, but I'm still going to need a load of the refineries. So we'll take some of those. Put them in. I'm going to put them in a bit further away down here, like yeah, let's put them in like this. And then talk to these needs. So I'm going to do the basic oil processing. That is just crude oil on the input, so I don't even need water for this. That's quite handy. So I can bring one of the oils down here like this. I've no idea what the throughput's going to be like for this, how it's going to compare, but never mind. Let's put that there, I think. Then I can get some pipes. And what's quite important is to remember to do things like that and that. And I'll feel very silly if I didn't. Then we'll just bring the pipe across the bottom there, pipe across the top of there, and again, substations everywhere. Substations are going to go everywhere in this run because it's the easiest way to cover a big area with power. So I don't need to worry too much about exactly what I'm powering. Now, as before, I don't. I'm not one of those sort of Factorio players who goes in and carefully memorizes ratios. So I don't know exactly how much pipe in pipe and out pipe, how much I'm going to get in and out from a setup like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's go for 12 because that feels like a round number. I think that's probably suitable. So that's going to get a decent amount of petroleum gas coming out, and then I'll do exactly the same thing again. I'll put it in here and just double it because why not? Because I'm trapped. That's why not. There we go. Yeah, so we're not playing with squeak through on this run. It is just creative mod. The creative mod is the only mod that's installed, and we'll see how we shall basically we shall see how it goes. This is awkward. Go for a little bit of tidiness here and there, I suppose. Right, so there we go. That's going to be that's my 2 oil inputs, except it isn't because I've forgotten a corner pipe up there. There we go. That's my 2 oil inputs fed down here. These are not all power, but at least some of them are. So do that along there. Right, that's going to definitely power all of them. So now I've got 2 pipes of petroleum gas coming out here. So from this, I'm going to need to make plastic, which, if I remember correctly, is gas and coal. Yes. So if I bring a belt of coal down from here, so that's this one. Let's bring that belt of coal straight across here like this. Then I can do something over here with its chemical plants to make plastic, isn't it? I think it doesn't tell me here, which is a little bit upsetting. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember how to play vanilla as usual. Hey Soren, well, if you wanted, if you are you joining in the run, or are you just spectating? Either way, you're very welcome to. You're welcome to do either. So this is a Factorio race to build a rocket with creative mod, but blind. So the idea is that I can't actually test anything in my factory until the design is finished. So I'm trying to build something that I think will actually allow me to make a rocket from completely free resources, but without being able to put any of the resources in. They're all blocked up inside this walled off area over here. When I turn this factory on, they'll all pour out and everything will get made. We'll get power everywhere and all that sort of thing. But until then, there's no power, nothing. We just have to try and build carefully and hope things go well for us. I don't know why I'm doing all this manually rather than automagically. Right, so I got it right. You are to make plastic. And that's, as predicted, that is petroleum gas and then the coal that's going to be coming along this belt across the top here and spitting out the stuff down here. So let's copy those actually. That is not going to be remotely enough plastic. Let's make that a lot bigger. Ooh. At this point, I'm going to need to think about stuff going onto one side of the belt or the other, aren't I? So I wonder how many of these machines is the right number to make a belt full of plastic. I have no idea. So I'm just going to sort of make things up as I go along. There's going to be a lot of them making things up as I go along this run, which I hope makes it interesting and probably stressful for people who know ratios much better than I do. So I'm going to put in a second one of those there like that. Then I'm going to also put in and then a third and fourth one as well, like that. And we're going to, and then this belt is going to, so this is going to be on the outside of the belt. I need to put it onto the inside. So to do that, we have do that and that and that. Yep, there we go. So that should give me a decent quantity of plastic coming out anyway. Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm less worried about speed and I'm more worried about the factory actually working. If it, oh, don't be difficult. Right, if the factory produces a rocket at the end of this, then I'll be happy. basically, because that's definitely not guaranteed. There's a reasonably high chance that I'll completely mess up and it just won't produce a rocket at all. So if a rocket comes out at the end, I'll be very happy. If it does it in a reasonable amount of time and I've got my ratios even remotely correct, then I'll be very happy. These are not going to be in. Oh, no, no, they do. They're providing power all the way up to the top of the belt. That's fine. So I have a feeling that one of the most likely things to happen here is that I will forget to put in one of the substations and just not power something, and that's going to cause me no end of trouble. Okay, so up here we've got iron coming out here and we've got copper coming out here. So I reckon I can turn all of that into green circuits. But let's have a bit of a think about the ratios in here. So green circuits is iron is one iron and it's three copper cable, but that's a two copper cable is one iron plate. So it's one iron belt and 1.5 copper belts to make a full belt coming out the other side. Red circuits is then even more copper, and the plastic and the green circuits, and then these is lots of those circuits and the sulfuric acid. Now, if I think I only need blue circuits from this. And I need blue circuits there. I need oil products there, and I need steel and plastic and copper there. Right, okay. So I think copper is as is usually the case in late game Factorio. Copper is going to be the slowest thing to create here. Right, but this means I can feed all of my green circuits and red circuits into making blue circuits because I don't need green or red for anything else. Right, okay. So let's start off with that. So we'll make some over here now. Actually use some assembly machines. These are the first assembly machines I've used. Hey, Neutral, welcome to the stream. Why am I using blue ones? Let's use green ones because they are quite simply better. I don't know. I've got an empty blueprint. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of the wood, right? And rocket science. Right. Okay, so assembly machines. So the standard way of doing this is, let's see, it's three machines making cables to two making green circuits. I think. I'm pretty sure that's correct. It's either that way around or the other way around. So it's half a second to make that, to make two copper cables, and there it's half. Yeah, so it is that way around. Okay, so we'll bring the copper in. We want to bring the copper in along the top, and we want to bring the iron in through here like this. I'll sort that out in a moment. Copper can come across there. Yes, we're getting spaghetti already because I'm trying to work quickly but not carelessly. So we'll see how that goes for me. Probably badly is the answer, is the obvious answer, but I'm gonna give it a try. We'll see if I can actually make this in a way that is functional. So if I tuck that in there, yes, that's going to be copy pastable. I'm going to need to then go under like that and then have these feed in like that. So here we're going to make the green circuits. Here we're going to make the copper cables like that. So copper. Yes, this is copper and this is iron. Good. Yes, and it is iron. So once again I'm getting confused by the recipes in space exploration because I place so much more of that than I do of vanilla. So it is a bit weird, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get my head around it reasonably well. Okay, so I want to take a copy of that. Can I fit that in there? Yes. Good. It's not. If I move that to there, then it's even neater, and I can just take that, and then it's tileable, directly tileable with. Oh no, I've still got. No, actually, it doesn't make any difference because there's the amount of space there is controlled by the blue underground belt. So I'll put several of these in. Now I know that making oh, I've run into the trees again. I know that making blue circuits uses absolutely phenomenal amounts of green circuits up. So I'm actually going to have 2 rows of these, using up 2 of my very valuable belts of copper, because I think that's probably going to be the best ratio to do it. Let's see. So these are 45 a second if I've got them actually full. Oh, hey, Buckler. I mean, you're welcome to join in if you want. If you've got time to start now, then please do. If you haven't, then please start tomorrow morning. That's absolutely fine. Send your attempt over, and I'll judge it with all the rest of them. What am I even doing here? Oh yes, I was going to look at the numbers. So copper cables are 1 copper plate uh, per half second. So 2 copper plates per second. But these machines are faster as well. These are 1.1 a quarter. I'm going to ignore that and just lazy through this. So this one is I've got 45 per second coming in potentially if I've made enough smelting, which I probably haven't. So 45 seconds, but I need two per second. So I need about 20 about somewhere in the region of 20 machines. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Okay, so I've gone a bit overboard. Let's just get rid of those ones. Actually, no, let's leave them in. I'd rather have too many than too few. And now I'll make another copy of that, put it in here, like that. Now I'm pretty no, that's going to be producing more. If it is producing from a full belt there, it's going to be producing more than half a belt. So I'm going to need to have a turn round in the middle here, like, not turn round, but onto the other side of the belt in the middle here, like this. There we go. So that's going to be, that's my two rows of two belts of green coming out. I'll need another iron belt coming in here, which I'll do like this. And I'll bring in another one up from down here like this. That's, sorry, hang on, wait a minute. That's wrong. That's copper. That should have been going in there. That was correct. Um, oh dear. You see, this is why things are going to go badly for me, because my attention to detail and my sort of abilities to not screw up are not as strong as they should be. So the iron comes in here like this. There we go. So we've got iron coming in there and going in. Who designed it? Who designed it? Going up the middle there, going up the middle there. Right, okay, so that's correct. This is a horrible, horrible mess already. Come on, Laurence, sort it out. build nicely. And then we've got copper coming in, going along the top, copper coming in, going along the top. And so we're going to have two belts with decent amounts of green circuits on them coming out here and here. Right, I dread what chat's going to say while I was looking at that. Hey Mark, welcome. Are you okay? Well, hopefully you'll be able to give it a shot anyway. It'd be fun to see what you can manage. Just yeah, have a go whenever you get home and get a chance to give it a try. Okay, I've now used up both of my belts of iron. Do I need iron anywhere else? Yes, I need it for sulfuric acid, I think. Yes, there we go. So I'm going to need to pull off some of this iron. Or maybe I reckon that actually this is too much steel, because the only thing I need steel for is the low density structures, but steel is slow to produce. And also these iron belts aren't going to be going at full whack. So actually let's pull off some of the iron from here and take that down to be made into acid. I think that's probably a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think this idea is going to be a lot of fun. It's very, very stressful already because I'm trying to build quickly and also trying quite hard not to screw up, and that's a difficult combination. So I'm going to say output priority to the left on that one, and to the right on that one. So the idea of this is it's going to take all of the iron out here that it can, but there's going to be some iron left over, which is going to come down this belt. I'll merge those there like that. And then this is the one we're going to turn into sulfuric acid. So somehow I'm going to have to get this through here and turn it into sulfuric acid way down south. Actually, there's a bit of a gap there. That's not too bad. So let's just take that through here. This is going to be a monument to absolute spaghetti because of the way I'm designing it. Mike is trying to distract me, I can tell, and upsettingly, it kind of worked for a few seconds there while I was panicking about what he might be talking about. No crossing. Oh dear, that would be very interesting. Okay, so far I do seem to have linked up all of my power networks. So that's my biggest worry is that I might forget to link up all of my power networks. Now we have come up with a way to check for that, which is slightly cheeky, it's not cheaty, but it's definitely cheeky. So we'll see how we get on with that. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Yes, there is something wonderful about doing that with a sub factory. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a wonderful way of just seeing that all just sweep in and start working. Okay, so what else have I got to do? I've got to do the red and the blue circuits yet, but that's going to require sulfuric acid for the blue circuits, and plastic for the red circuits. I've got plastic here, in an amount. I've got an amount of plastic. I don't know whether it's a good amount of plastic, but it is an amount of plastic. So let's take this up here, bring it in over here with the green the green circuits, and I'll do a quick red circuit. Words are hard. Red circuit production facility. So red circuits, just to make sure I get my recipes correct. Plastic, copper, and green circuits. So we need, how do we do this? So I think from what I remember, Yeah, this is a slow recipe. So yes, you put one machine in the middle making the copper cables, and then you have 6 machines round it making the red circuits. I think that's how I usually do this. So those can go in like that. We'll feed these like this. I am going a little bit on what I remember of how Factorio works here, as opposed to doing the maths, which I don't think is cheating because it's just standard knowledge that, to be honest, most people who are playing this challenge probably have. Because, well, I imagine if you're playing this challenge, you are a long-time fan of Factorio, to paraphrase slightly. Let's make this horizontal, actually. So let's get rid of that for a moment. Take that and rotate it. And if I put this in, uh, yeah, I'll put this in like that, and then I'll have another one over here somewhere. But I need to think about that first. So, okay, you're going to making copper cable. You guys are all no, you guys are all making red circuits. More haste, less speed, or is it more speed, less haste? I forget. These take long enough to build that loading them off, loading them with red inserters is fine. This is going to be my first red inserters of this build, which is mildly interesting. Because I've been using the green inserters basically everywhere because everything's free. There's no reason not to because they're the. Oh, hang on a minute. No, this isn't going to give me anywhere to get the red circuits out again. Okay, that's why I normally merge the belts. Right. Okay. Um, let's do that then. So we'll split you, split you. Uh, underground to yeah, sure, over here. Get it out of the way. And the same for you. Then we can do this. Put that onto the inside one, inside track like that. Okay, so we've got the copper's going to flow at the top. That's fine. Plastic and what is it? It's 2 of each of those to make one. Okay, so right, so it's 2 of each of the plastic and the green circuits to make one. So I'm going to be able to turn all of the 2 belts here into 2 input belts into 1 output belt of red. So that feels right. I think I've got the maths correct there. Okay, so let's bring this up here, across here like that. Fail. Pass that through there. Fix that belt. So actually put that there. That's fine too. That's going to go around there. So right. So now we use the red inserters for outputs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some of these things on my hotbar because then I can actually find the damn things later. There we go. Right. This might make things a little bit easier in the future, but most of the time when I'm playing Factorio, I don't tend to use my hotbar. I tend to just copy and paste things or I tend to use the queue just to grab things out of the world, as it were. So we'll swing this around here like this. This is a weird construction, but I don't care. That can come around there like that. And then here, because everything's free, I'm going to do this in a simple, easy to think about way because I think that's probably going to serve me better. So now I can copy all of that, put it in again here, and let's have 3 of these. I don't know whether we're gonna run out or not doing that, but I think I'd rather get carried away and have too many than have too few. And it's easy to copy and paste stuff, and everything is free, so why not? Right, okay, so that's that one. Now the other. Ooh, is the 1 belt of copper going to be enough? I think it's going to have to be because I'm starting to worry that I'm going to run out of copper. But what I also want to do is now make a copy of all of this and flip it and rotate it. Put it in. I don't know. Yeah, let's put it there. What did I just delete? Oh, that machine there. Okay. I heard the sound of something getting deleted now. What if I right-clicked on by mistake? Okay, so what are you? You are pass. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Right, so those are my other two belts of miscellaneous whatever. So that gets up, in, uh, uh, spaghetti time. Spaghetti's dangerous. It's going to be my undoing. Right, okay, so there we go. Now, also split this. Oh, for goodness sake. Here. Bring this up like this and delete that bit. There we go. So right, what I've got here now is I've got the copper belt coming in, being brought over to here, being split between the two rows, which is going to flow all the way along here, and we're going to turn as much of that into red circuits as we can. As I say, I don't even have a feel for how much copper I'm going to get coming through down this belt, let alone how well I've done with all the rest of the ratios. But my my theory is that as I was saying earlier, as long as the factory works, I'm not going to be too upset if it's not as quick as it might be. Right, let's try and power this now. Um, yeah, no crossing would definitely be a challenge. The twist in this is that basically you're not allowed to start your factory running until it's too late. So as you can see, there's nothing flowing into my factory at the moment. I'll show you in a second. Over here, we've got an infinite supply of resources, but they're not flowing yet, and I'm not allowed to turn them on until I've finished building the factory. So I build up the factory, hit the big power button, and who knows what's going to happen. I was going to say I don't know whether you're allowed to point out mistakes, because it does feel like that would give me a bit of an advantage. But then maybe I deserve a bit of an advantage as the streamer. I don't know. I don't know. Mike has been pointing out non-existent mistakes because he thinks it's funny, and to be honest, he's not wrong. Um, so I don't know. I honestly don't know whether I should let you point out mistakes or not, because it does give me a bit of an advantage, but also it's just going to make me paranoid when Mike starts lying about them. Oh dear. If it doesn't work, then I lose basically. What we that doesn't have the coverage. Oh, it does from that one. But that means over here we don't have the coverage. So let's put in another one there, and that one does from that. Okay, so yeah, I'll run the factories. If the person whose factory manages to complete a rocket first wins, basically, simple as that. Um, but if nobody's factory manages to complete a rocket, then the person whose factory gets closest to building a rocket will win, and that's going to be basically down to my judgment to decide who I want to who I want to how I want to define that. But to be honest, I think a large part of my definition is going to be based on if you've made two of the components of a rocket. So if you've made if you've made the rocket fuel and the rocket control modules, then I'll sort of consider that to be 2/3 of the way through making a rocket. If you haven't, if you've made actually, do I want to put more in? If you haven't, if you, so I'd say that would beat somebody who'd only made rocket fuel, for example. Beyond that, it's going to be it's going to be very much a sort of a case by case basis. I'm going to have to sort of try and judge it based on sort of gut feelings and sort of trying to be impartial, which is going to be a little bit interesting. But it's just a friendly competition, so I don't think anyone's going to be taking it too seriously and will be too upset if they lose. Well, maybe they will, but they'll have to deal with it. um, yeah, so it's fix it the fastest is an interesting idea. Unfortunately, because it's all going, I might go in and I might say, well, if there's I don't know, one inserter that's wrong or one piece of belt that's wrong or a little bit of the factory that's unpowered, then I'll fix it and I'll count that against you to an extent. Why is that not there? There we go. I'll count it against you to an extent, but it counts as being quite close to having built a working factory because you had mostly built a working factory. There was just a pylon or something like that missing. So you'll still lose against somebody who made one that actually works. But yeah, I mean, it's all very hypothetical. But if somebody made a factory that had two ingredients going straight into the rocket, and the other person had a factory that had nothing going into the rocket, but if I put down one pylon, would have all three going in, it'd be a difficult decision, basically. Okay, so that's hopefully red circuits. I'm going to have a quick look at my design because it got a little bit spaghetti, just to make sure it looks right. So this is the plastic coming in from here. Yes, that is plastic. This is green circuits coming in from here. Oh yes, yeah. Yeah. It's because of the way I copy and paste it. Because I didn't want to get all of these undergrounds and things in. So yes, I did spot that. So thank you for confirming that I spotted the mistake you spotted. Right. So plastic and circuits coming in here. They're getting merged onto this belt, merged onto this belt. They're going around here. We've got an inserter and ouserter. Yes, those are the right way around. We've got copper coming in here from over there. That's coming in, being fed round to these. Okay, so I've now got red circuits coming out here. I've got green circuits here. So that means I am now a significant proportion of the way towards making blue circuits. I don't have sulfuric acid yet. That's going to be the next thing to make. Yeah, if no one manages, then something like that break in my... Well, actually, that break in my belts wouldn't have completely scuppered me. It just meant my factory was very, very slow at making red circuits, because the first two modules would have still worked. It's just these, the other 8 wouldn't. So in theory, I could have limped through and got a finish out with that from that mistake. But yes, if it's a sort of the little thing like if nobody manages, if your factory works without any problems, and then you obviously just win because you are clearly the best. If your factory doesn't work without any modifications, but it does work with some minor modifications, then you've done quite well, and I'll be impressed. It's not quite a victory, but it'll count as you're in sort of you could be the first of the runners up, first sort of, or the person who did least badly, should we say? Okay, so sulfuric acid. That means why am I making those? I've already got lots. That means sulfur first, and I think is sulfur. I can't remember. Sulfur is water. Water and petroleum. That's going to be a pain in the butt to make, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to need to run water through here. I can bounce that through and then pass pass the sulfur out that straight out the bottom. Okay, that's not too bad. So let's get some water now. And it does occur to me that I should probably be doing all of this from the map view, because behave because you kind of can in with what are we playing with creative mod, because you can put stuff down absolutely anywhere. So maybe I should be doing this from the map, but I'm not going to, because that way well, I don't know, just because there's not I don't really have a good reason for not doing it, to be honest. I'm just not, because I'm stubborn and obstinate and doing things the wrong way for the hell of it. Oh, what? That's not going to work. Do it again, but better. In fact, first things first, let's bring that up to there, like that. Let's bring that up one just because it's in the way, and let's bring this to here, and then that can carry on straight across. That's fine. Then I can. Oh, you can't open machines from map mode view. That's a good point, Tristan. Oh, doing this wrong again. Put that down there. There we go. And that, because I'm going to need lots of those. Probably not going to need any more uh, 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 refineries, but we'll see. Yeah, but that is an excellent point. You can't put stuff down from map. You can't adjust your machine's doings from map mode. So that's a good reason not to do that. So we'll do that, and then here we shall be making the sulfuric acid. So that's iron plate. Oh, I need water here as well. Oh, here's a dirty method that'll work. That'll work. And you know what they say? If it's a horrible idea, but it works, it's still a horrible idea. You just got lucky. Right. And because, as I say, I'm just not worrying about ratios, that's going to work, isn't it? Because I've got water coming in here. We've got petroleum gas coming in here. We're passing the water straight through down to here. So this has got water. It's going to have the sulfur from there. It's going to have the iron from this belt, which goes up here, takes the overflow from these, and I don't know. Actually, I'm going to unprioritize those belts up at the top, because I'm paranoid that I'm going to get I'm going to get all of the iron flowing into making the green circuits, and none of it coming down to the sulfur. So if I deprioritize these, then okay, we'll get more going down into the sulfur to start with, but hopefully this will then back up, and when we'll also get enough acid, and it'll be fine. So right, copy that and paste, 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 paste. There we go. That's lots of acid being made. So we can now pass it up here to be made into the blue circuits as well. So the one I'm still going to need more petroleum gas to be turned into rocket fuel. So I haven't got that yet, but I feel like I'm making suitable progress in things are moving in the right direction. I'm ticking things off as I go. How long have we been going for? So about 40 minutes so far. I feel like I've made some good progress, as I say. That might be hubris, might not. We'll see. Don't let me forget to go back along this pipe and make sure everything's I put in all the corners. In fact, because I'm talking about it, I'm going to remember. So that's why that's part of the reason I talk about these things. So let's put pipes in down here as well. Right. So I need corners on these pipes. This is the sort of thing I often forget when I'm doing a normal build, and it's frustrating because I have to run all the way back along the pipe. In this case, it would actually be basically fatal to my chances because I wouldn't be able to run back along the pipe. Ooh, how much range have we got on these things? Yeah, so that one is just getting the inserters in the middle. That one's getting those ones. That one's getting those ones. I'm going to need more of these along the bottom, but that's fine. I can do that. So we'll put one of these here, and for some reason they don't seem to be... Oh, okay. It's just because I'm off the grid. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, putting down a load of underground pipes and then doing another stretch like that and forgetting to put the corners in is a thing I'm very, very prone to. So at the end of this, I am going to have a quick run round and try and go, have I got everything in the right places? Is everything going to work? Have I forgotten any really, really obvious things that I'm going to feel really stupid about? Because obviously none of, like that one right there, that would have stopped the water flowing through, and then I would have been very, very sad. Um, so yeah, I've lost track of what I was saying because I panicked when I saw those missing pipes. Okay, quick stop and think. Let's carry it. Let's carry on with blue circuits because that's definitely a thing I'm going to need. Oh, I'm going to need speed modules for the rocket control modules, aren't I? And those are red and green circuits. I think I just found. It's speed module 1, isn't it? Yeah, speed module 1, and that is red and green circuits. Okay, so we'll tap them off here. That's fine. It's only mildly annoying. Do that and that and that. And we'll make some speed modules up here with these machines. Speed, 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 speed. That's going to need to be one of them and one of them and one of them. This isn't needed for the blue circuits though, so I'm just going to pass that down here somewhere out of the way and have that come through later. So copy, paste. Nice. I think that's probably enough machines making them because I don't think you need a lot of speed modules because they get made at one every 15 seconds. Wow. And the rocket control modules get made one every 30 seconds and they use one, so seems like it's going to be okay. Right, now we have blue circuits, and blue circuits are always the big sort of big horrible, the big bad, if you will, in a vanilla Factorio run through, because they're the point where you realise that you need a bajillion times everything that you thought you did. In this case, it's going to be the green circuits. I'm not going to be making that system over there is probably not going to be making the green circuits fast enough, I suspect. However, we'll see how it goes. So these are just going to go straight up the side here, because why not? I don't need to do any bus style shenanigans around here at all. We'll have the acid coming in here like this, and that means it can come in from over here like this. Corners, Laurence, corners, 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 corners. Actually, it's just going to be a straight pipe going up there, isn't it now? So let's do that to make it easier to copy paste. You're going to get inserters and outserters and another inserter like that. Ooh, that's the wrong way around. These belts need to be swapped over because you get through green circuits you need far more green circuits than you need red circuits. So if I make that come across there like that and that one in there, what was that? that like that. So there we go. This is going to be the green circuits are going to come in on the near one, which goes to the stack inserter, and the red circuits are going to, which you only need about one of or something. Is it one? Two of come in on the long handled inserter, which is a much slower inserter. So that's going to be better. So I need that, and I need to go copy paste 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 paste. I don't know, several. I need to power all of this stuff as well. Let's try not to forget that. That's okay. So if I put that here, it will get all of those machines. If I put this one here, it will get all of the blue circuit machines. I am very paranoid about forgetting to power something. Can you tell? Right, let's have a look at the chat. Yeah. If no one succeeds, winner is the person who can troubleshoot and fix the fastest. To be honest, I haven't really thought it through quite that far yet. I'm hoping that somebody is going to have a factory that works. I'm hoping I'm going to have a factory that works, but if not me, then hopefully somebody will. So I just haven't. Yeah, I haven't really thought it through quite that far. I'm get I'm getting quite close to the edge of the yeah, this will be plenty of space that I slap down with the big radar over here, but I'm getting fairly close to the edge of it. Right. That doesn't matter though. I can carry out. There's no limit on how much space I'm allowed to take up if I want to. It's just a sort of here is an amount of space that will give us only a sort of a 2 meg save game rather than putting down one of the crazy big radars that gave me a 14 meg save game, and that was excessive. So let's now start making the rocket control modules. Since I've got everything I need for those up here now, it's one of each. Fine, okay. No need to do anything remotely clever here. Just feed them up here like this. I don't know why I'm using two belts about for this, come to think of it, because everything is going to be the throughput at this stage of the game is going to be so low um, that it would all fit on a single belt. But I just, yeah, I seem to be doing it like this, so I'll carry on. That's probably going to be more than I need, but everywhere along here. I'm going to just chuck down lots of machines because it's easier to chuck down what's probably too many than to think about it too carefully. So that is the first thing that goes into a rocket. So we'll put down a rocket silo here that I reserve the right to move that later if I need to, because it may or may not be in the right place. Put that there, and I shall put a exerter there going into a chest. This is a very important chest, so I shall use a steel chest because it's posh and important. So we're going to unload when the rocket launches. We're going to unload into here. Oh no! I need to make a satellite as well. Oh no, that's going to be hard. What goes into a satellite? I forgot about the satellite. I wonder if anyone else has forgotten about it. Where is it even? There it is. So blue circuits, low density structures, rocket fuel. That's fine. I've got all of those right here. But the solar panels accumulating radars, that's going to be a pain. Ah, for goodness sake. Soren, yes, I suppose. I don't know. I did say no spawning in random items, but if you're putting it into your armor, then it's not such a bad. It's not so bad, I suppose. Yeah. If you really want, I guess it's probably okay. Is all the power linked up? Oh yeah, that was enough for all of that. That's linked through here. Yes, that's all together. Yeah, that seems to be okay so far. Okay, well, Mark, when you have a go at it, you can do that, and yeah, I did the thought did occur to me, it also occurred to me that I wouldn't know where to put it, and yeah, I suppose you could then think about the quantities of everything you'd end up needing. Maybe it'd be better. Yeah, it's quite possible. I did briefly consider it, but I decided this way seemed to work better for for me. Hey Max, welcome to the stream. I know you're not a Factorio player, or at least I don't think you're much of a Factorio player. But if you want to join in, you are very welcome to. Right. So where have I got to? Oh yes, rocket fuel. Oh, does rocket fuel require? Oh no, I may have goofed. Or not goofed seriously. Yes, it does require light oil. Crap. I was hoping I was going to be able to get away with this without needing any light oil. Okay. Right. So much for that plan. I'm going to going to need another row of these. I'm going to need some more water. I don't know what that did you forgot about rocket fuel needing light oil as well, did you, Mike? Is that what you mean? Okay, I'll put that there. Oh, you worked at the end and so I started at the end and worked backwards. Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, yeah, why not? Let's see. I need to do the advanced oil processing. I need water and I need more oil. So there's oil here and there's oil here. I'm going to actually link these up, I think, because that way I feel like this way I can be a bit more optimistic about the throughput being suitable. And then, okay, yeah, we're just going to do the standard pipe across here like that, pipe across here like that. That's going to be water. Water comes from there. They're stuck on the belt, pipe, whatever that is, whatever that thing is. Let's bring the other water down because why not? I've got it, so I might as well have both of them in play. Yeah, I guess I'm sort of starting this way round because it's what you do when you're playing Factorio. You start off making getting all of the ores, so getting all of your metal smelting going, and then you start working on more complicated things. There's no reason not to do it the other way around. I think that's perfectly well. It's obviously it's acceptable. You can do what you like. That's the whole point of the competition. Um, but whether it's what's better or worse, I have no idea. Let's have some outputs here as well. So we'll have this one going out onto a. This could. No, we can make this into what can you make solid fuel out of? You can make solid. Okay, so you can make solid fuel out of anything. Okay, cool. That's convenient. So we'll do that. What I am going to do is for this one, so that I don't have to worry about. I'm not going to bother with cracking because that's an extra complication and thing to worry about. So I'm going to go absolutely crackers with the. Why am I doing this? I'm going to go kind of nuts with these tanks over here. And again, I don't care if there's a tree in the way, just demolish it. And again, there we go. So there's going to be plenty of room here for storing all of the excess fluids that we create. So that's great. How long are underground pipes in vanilla? um, that one's obviously fine. But what about this one? Oh, no, that's okay as well. Good. Right, so yeah, we're going to have crazy amounts of storage space available for the fluids over there. That's fine. I'm okay with that. We'll then copy this. Just means I don't need to worry about any sort of balance on this. Okay, so there we go. That's going to make all of my that's all of my oil products done. Of course, I still need to put power in, but other than that, it's all of my oil products done. So there we go. Let's link those up just because it seems like a nice thing to do. Okay, so now we need the light oil specifically. Specifically, we need for making the rocket fuel. The other two will turn into into solid fuel, and that's probably done in a chemical plant. I think seems likely. So we'll have 2 rows of chemical plants here, and we'll do that. This one can make solid fuel from petroleum. This one can make 1, 2, 3 solid fuel from heavy oil. I know they're not going to be balanced. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Output. No, belt. So what do your petroleum gas? So that's this one up here. So we need to bring that out here. Conveniently, there is a gap there. I mean, it wouldn't have really mattered if there hadn't been because I could have moved stuff across. That's not a problem. And over here, oh well, no, you're supposed to be heavy oil. That one, which is this pipe here. Bring that down like that. You don't need inserters with pipes, Laurence. You don't need to leave space for them. So we'll do that. And copy this bit from the middle, the complicated bit. There we go. Right, so there's my solid fuel coming out. Then we need to turn that into rocket fuel, which is solid fuel and light oil. Great, that's what I've got here. So we'll put in a chem plant here. What are the numbers like on this? Where is do you make that in an assembly machine? You do. Okay. Surprises me slightly, but sure, whatever. And it's 10 of each. So let's bring this up have this as the close one, and then we can output there like that. So as usual, that goes in, that comes out, boom. Job's a reasonably good one. So yeah, if I put the what's the names, what are these things called? Substations in like that, then they'll power everything. Right, and as ever, I'm going to need several of these. So I'm going to go like that. I'm also fairly convinced I'm going to need more of the. Actually, I think I'm probably going to need more of this. It's far enough down to avoid that, but it will get in the way of these substations. I could move this whole thing down a couple. Feels kind of kludgy, but I mean, it would probably work. Let's make another copy of all of this first, anyway. I'm fairly sure I'm going to find that I'm going to go through and put in loads and loads of machines for later stages like this, and then discover that actually it was this sort of early stage where I actually needed all of those machines and haven't put in remotely enough. In fact, looking at this, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be enough. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be enough refineries. But as I said, I think my biggest concern is failing to do anything rather than failing to do things as quickly and efficiently as possible. Right, so this is rocket fuel. Let's bring this up over here like this. I'll just follow this pipe because why not? But I'll then go off this way because I don't actually need it there. Then up here. So I have two things left to worry about now. Uh, one is the low density structures, which is plastic. So is this going to be enough plastic? I hope so. So it needs low density structures, which is plastic, steel, and copper. So I've got plastic down here. Why is there a missing belt there? Plastic. It would have been unfortunate, but not tragic. Okay, so I've got plastic down here being made down here. Maybe I'll try and make more of it. I don't know. Maybe I should link all of the petroleum gas outputs together from all of these. So I'm going to need copper, which can come from here. I do have a row of copper left conveniently. And steel, which is right up here. I think I'll probably bring this, not like that. I should bring this across here like this. Again, not like that. Switching over to things move quicker in map mode than they do in normal. So that's the copper. This is the plastic, so I'm going to need to put in a splitter down here for this. That's those two, and then steel comes from over here, and this is where I go. Oh yeah, I've probably overbuilt on steel. Actually, no, steel comes down here like this, and then we merge these two because this is going to be a very sparse belt because steel takes like 5 times as much as everything else. Yeah, having little bits and pieces basically attention to detail is going to be a strong recurring theme in this for me, I think. Just slapping down a load of stuff and going, yep, I think that's probably okay, and not checking it over carefully enough. Oh. If my factory fails for any particular reason, I think the most likely reason is because I've made some sort of little error where I wasn't paying quite enough attention, and so and that's caused a break halfway through a production stage, and so everything has gone horribly, horribly wrong. Okay, so up here is where we're going to build the low density structures. So as usual, just do that. I don't know why I put down so many of them. It's just sort of a habit, and then I can start thinking about it. So what goes into this? Plastic, copper huge amounts of copper goes in. So copper is the first belt. Yes, so this copper is this belt. So that needs to go up here because there's loads of that goes into every single one. Then the other two weren't quite so bad. It's 2 and 5 of steel and plastic. So steel is the best one to bring along here like this because that's the lowest quantity. And then plastic can come up here, and we have an output here. Lovely. Then as is always, we have in, out. Shake it all about. Do the copy pasty. I don't think I need that many. If they're taking into actually, how long do these take to run? 20 seconds. Okay, I probably do. No. Bad copy pasty. That's not how you do that. Apparently, putting in the initial machines initially is useful because it sort of forces that to behave itself. Okay, and also, as always, power. So we'll go from here. We go. Yes, that does reach. Thank goodness for that. There. Right. So that's lots of machines making low density structures, and they're coming out over here. We'll then let's just go around the top of all this, shall we? The blue belts are reasonably quick, so I'm not too worried about them being a causing my build to slow down too much. Especially as I say, if it works, I'll be very, very happy. If it works quickly, I'll be even happier. Right. So that, I think, is everything except the satellite. I've brought all the belts down over to here. I've sort of worked. Yeah, I think that's everything. Now let's have a think about the satellite because that's going to be the really annoying bit because it's going to require lots of stupid little bits and pieces to be brought into it. So this is going to be the really annoying bit, and I can't find this. There it is. There's the satellite. So blue circuits, which is this one. So blue circuits, low density structures, which is this one. Like that. Blue circuits, low density structures, rocket fuel. That's this one. So a lot of these things are kind of in the right place already. The problem is, as I said, is the really frustrating thing is going to be these three: the solar panels, the accumulators, and the radars. Solar panel, accumulators, and radars, which are going to require lots of other raw ingredients like copper and steel and green circuits, none of which I have over here. Maybe I should have built up an actual bus. Accumulators, they're going to require. Oh, accumulators are going to require batteries. It's even more annoying. Battery. Battery? It's there somewhere, I'm sure of it. Come on, where are batteries? Where are batteries? Why can't I see batteries? What? Oh, they're made in a chemical plant, that's why. Because they require sulfuric acid. Batteries, there we go. And that's iron and copper as well. Jeez. This is the point where it starts to get complicated and frustrating. And what was the other thing? Oh, radars. Bloody hell. Radars are in here. That one. Iron gears as well. Right. Let's move that up actually out of the way a little bit. My thoughts on Satisfactory are that I've never played it, so I don't want to be too judgy about it. But it does look like it looks like Factorio. It looks like sort of my first factory game, or well, not quite my first one, but a very early one that's quite a lot simpler and more straightforward than things like Factorio. But then I didn't know what to make of Dyson Sphere program when I first saw it either, so I don't know. Right, so I've already forgotten what I needed. I know I needed steel for something. I need steel, I need iron, I need copper. I need all three of the metals over there. Not in particularly big quantities, but I'm going to need some of them. Right, what I'm going to... I'm not going to... The problem is I don't want to break off the. If I break off the steel belt here, then I'm going to get a lot of steel going down this way that isn't going to go into here. But as I said, I don't really care about speed too much, so let's try not to worry about that. Maybe I will. I mean, I have a lot of games on my I want to play this game list, so and Satisfactory is not particularly high on the list. But I'm not saying never. I'm certainly won't say never. So that's steel. The hardest part of this is going to be keeping track of which belt is which. So yeah, I won't say never, but I will say it doesn't hugely interest me, but I might decide that actually I think it's interesting enough to be worth a shot. Okay, so you're going off to be made into red circuits. Okay, let's tap off that. Let's tap off this. Yeah, let's tap off here and tap off here. And I can do this. And I can make a single belt coming out this way that's got both iron and copper on it. And that means I don't need to worry about which one's which. It can just come all the way over here, and we'll just feed this into all of the things that need iron or copper, like this one, and probably this one. Yeah, this one. Oh, and green circuits, goodness sake. Do you need steel? You do need steel. Does anyone else need steel? You don't. You don't. You don't. So steel is literally just for the solar panels. So we'll bring that straight in here, like that, and then we can forget about that for the rest of it. You do need copper and you need green circuits. So I'm just going to split this. Actually, this is going to come up across here, like this. Yeah, there and there, like that. You need iron and green circuits. You need iron. Oh, I don't know what that needs. So let's bring this up a little bit. I might have crammed this in a little bit too close together. We'll see. What do you? Oh, you actually no. You only need iron and batteries. Actually, so that's fine. We can bring this up here to here, and then across and up to here. Right. Um, Power for this big mess. Okay, so I haven't got green circuits in here yet, but other than that, I think this is now complete. So the satellite requires blue circuits, which are coming in here, low density structures that are coming in here, and rocket fuels coming in here. So basically, it's the same three things that are required for the rocket itself. So I'm able to. Well, it's not quite actually. But it sort of is. Um, so yeah, I've got those. The solar panels are being made right here. The accumulators here, radars are here. So this is now happy. This one requires copper, which is coming in up this belt. It requires steel, which is on this one, and it requires green circuits, which I haven't done yet. Okay, the green circuits are going to come in here then. You require batteries, which require sulfuric acid, which I haven't brought in yet, but that's not too far away because I'm using it for the blue circuits here. So can do that and that. So it's going to be the sulfuric acid. Yep. And the iron for the batteries and the copper is both coming off this belt, so that's fine. That's that one sorted. You've got iron that's coming off this belt as well, so you're sorted. You've got your copper. You haven't got your green circuits. You also need green circuits. Fine. It's spaghetti time. There we go. Green circuits come up here and are fed in like that. So I just need to put green circuits on this belt now. Green circuits are made way over here. Yeah, I'll split off here, I think. It's going to upset. Actually, no. Let's split off the other row of them. This one is going over the blue circuits because no, this one because you need no this one because I believe you need more green. I think you need more green circuits for making blue circuits than you need the green circuits for making the red circuits for making the blue circuits. Right. I think I've done everything, and it's 1 hour and 10 minutes in, so that's gone reasonably well, I think. Let's check the easy things first. Let's make sure the power networks are all connected up. It looks pretty good so far. And there's something missing over there. Goodness sake. I must have been standing there when I pasted the blueprint in. Does that reach down all the way to the bottom? No, it does not. Put another one of those then. This is not powered at all. That's bad. Now it is. If I'm holding one of these, then I get the blue highlight around everything, so I should be able to tell reasonably well whether everything is powered. and I think it looks pretty good. There's certainly a big blue aura over just about everything. Some of these inserters I'm a little bit paranoid about, but they do seem to be okay. Next question is, should I be making any of these assembly areas bigger in order to try and get them to run a bit faster? Oh yeah, I was going to go head down here and link up the all of the petroleum gas lines, just because why not? They might as well share. So here we have a belt for me to stand on. Great. So if I extend that one and then lose those, extend that one as well, and then I can go like that, and I can go down here like this, link that into there. So that's going to mean slightly more petroleum gas is available potentially for making the rocket fuel, of the solid fuel down here. I don't want these to. Yeah, the gas can collect in these. That's probably going to be fine. It might give a few issues to throughput, but I think it's basically going to be okay. Yeah, I think that's probably all right. I guess we'll see when it starts to flow. So now the question is, how much time do I spend running around looking for problems? I've not used any stone. That surprises me a little bit, but apparently you don't need stone for this build. You don't need any stone to make to launch a rocket. Okay, so we've got oil, crude oil coming down here. That looks fine. Crude oil coming down here, also fine. They're linked together. Water. So one of the things I'm most paranoid about is having missed out one of the elbows in a pipe. So it's coming across to here, going around here. We're feeding that into the water side of all these machines, and we're also passing water through. Oh yes, passing water through to there. I remember how that works. Another water pipe coming down here to be used for the advanced processing. That's fed in okay. Light oil is, yes, that is this one, which is the one that goes into there because you need light oil for that. Yes, I suppose if you don't have any pipes, then missing out pipes is less of an issue. So you could potentially have your I don't see any submissions yet, so no, I don't think anyone. No, nobody has sent me a message on Discord to say here's my save. So no, nobody else thinks they've finished yet. So that's not too worrying. I'm now that person in an exam who's sort of thinking, who's sitting there thinking, I've nearly finished, but nobody else has handed in their paper yet. Have I forgotten something? Um, this pipe coming around here with the acid in it's got a corner on it there. We've got a. Do you mean 15 minutes to run, or 15 minutes, or the next one will be in 15 minutes? Yeah, so acid's coming along here. That's fine. It's not doing anything stupid at the end there and being linked into something it shouldn't be. Comes up here. Got that elbow. Got that elbow. Yep, got link there. It looks good. This all looks okay, but I'm aware as I'm sort of skimming over it all quite quickly, and if there was a subtle little error somewhere in there, I'm not sure I'd see it. I'll go in and put in that furnace that was missing because that was obvious on the highlight. That one. All these furnaces have got steel up there, but yeah, these inserters all, yep, they're all pointing in the correct direction. This feels like it's probably okay. I don't know whether I should do anything else, whether I should think, how much time. As I say, I don't know how much time I should spend going around looking at it and going, have I made a really obvious dumb mistake somewhere? Since I've got all this uranium, what I am going to do is from here, I'm going to run a belt of it around the outside of the factory for decorative purposes, because the idea amuses me. If I had the time and could be bothered, I might run a railway line all the way around the outside of the factory with a train shooting round, but I don't have the time or the desire. Let's do this from map view because it'd be quicker. It'll be mildly interesting to see how long it takes the uranium to get all the way around here, and I think it'll be mildly decorative as well. There we go. That was a waste of a minute. No, I'm not allowed to place a train. That's why it would be quite a big job. I'd have to have the entire train built up and on site. So which is why I'm not doing it. If it was just dumped down railway like that, then yeah, sure, I'd be that wouldn't be a problem. But I think it's no, I think that'd be. I'm not allowed to place trains, so I'd have to set it up so to actually build one. Oh, and then it would never place it, and it wouldn't get programmed. So there's yeah, I can't do that. Right. I think I'm just sort of running around looking at things, going, "Are you broken? Are you wrong? Have I screwed up here?" Rather than actually making any real kind of progress. So I think I'm going to call it at this point, and I'm going to say this is my run. Um, what time is it now? It is 16:17. I shall save my game as mine there. Right, that is my run. Thank you everyone who's been watching and everyone who's been cheering me on and cheering everyone else on as well. And well, I think that's been it has been a run, and we shall find out tomorrow whether it's been a successful one. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we're going to have another stream where I'm going to go through, work my way gradually through all of the submissions, probably in submission order. Oh, I've had a submission. There we go. That's three now. Three have come in. So yes, we've had three submissions now. Tomorrow I shall work through them, probably in the order that I received them in, because assuming they take similar amounts of time to run, then we're going to have then that's going to be basically in the most likely one to win first, and it seems mean to start with the last one. So yes, we'll work through those tomorrow from about 3 o'clock onwards, and see how people have done, and there will be a judging and a wailing and so on, and we'll see. Um, yes, I think it has been an interesting puzzle, John. If you do decide you want to have a go at it, and anyone else, actually, anyone who's watching the stream and is in here, if you fancy having a go at it yourself, then please do jump onto the Discord. Let us know. You can I would hesitate to say I'm probably not going to give the win to anyone who comes in late, because there are obviously you can do things like saves and tests, and there are various ways to cheat if you've got plenty of extra time to play with. But you're welcome to drop one in and show us what you've done, and well, I'll run through all of the entries I get. At least all of the entries I get before 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see what variety we get. I think this is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be lots of variety in approaches. I expect. I've done these sort of just spamming belts out all across the map in a huge sort of conglomeration of spaghetti, as you can see here, a massive tangle of it. We've got little bits of the sort of standard Factorio build that everybody does, like this. This is how everyone does green circuits in vanilla. Yes, if you with your YouTube, so here if we go, if we, I don't think that works here, does it? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Tristan. There we go. There's a Discord invite. Yeah, so drop in there. You can grab the save from there if you want. So this is roughly how I normally do a red circuit build, although I tend to actually zigzag them rather than have them loop back on themselves like this. But the basic idea is much the same. So there's little bits and pieces like that where you can see the standard Factorio builds poking through. My furnace arrays are fairly standard. I'm not sure they're big enough actually. I'm thinking maybe I should have made them about twice the size I did, but it's too late now. I've submitted my entry. All of these are sort of roughly how I would build if things were coming off a bus. Um, yeah, so there's sort of elements of normal Factorio-ishness in here, but then also elements of me just spraying stuff all across the landscape because because it's how I wanted to build stuff up in order to get things up and running based on just doing it as quickly as I reasonably could. I also think most of it is pretty logical and sensibly put together, with the exception of this bit over here, where I've come in here and I've tried to build the satellite in a as a bit of an afterthought. This is a bit of a dirty hack, and I'm a little bit horrified by it. Oh no, my rocket isn't going to launch. Well, I've failed. No. Um, I think if everything, absolutely everything else works perfectly, then I think this would be probably about as close. This would be about as close as you could get to winning without actually completing it. So if everybody else's fails, then I think I'd probably give myself the victory there. Um, However, if anyone else manages to launch a rocket, then they are going to have beaten me because I've forgotten something really, really obvious and stupid. I've forgotten two things that are really, really obvious and stupid. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay. Well, I won't say what the other thing is that I've forgotten, but yes, that is indeed an oof. There is another rather important thing that I've forgotten, and so there are two reasons why my factory would not work. Oh dear. But it's fairly close, and yeah, we'll see how many other mistakes I've made when I run the factory tomorrow. So thank you everyone who's been watching. I think yes, you're quite right, HTML. That is indeed what I've forgotten. uh, right. So, well, I have failed the rocket race challenge. As you all saw, I submitted my attempt 5 minutes ago, so it's too late for me to go in and fix these little things. However, I will as I run through all of the factories. If somebody's factory has not worked for some relatively small reason, I'll make a note of it. I'll fix it, and then let the factory carry on running and see if it could actually have worked or whether there were more serious structural problems with it. So, yeah, I think that's everything I have for you today. Oh, there's another entry has popped in. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Um, yes, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's stream is basically just going to be oh dear from lots of different perspectives, I imagine. Oh, dear me, such a ridiculous little thing to forget. Little things to forget. But as I said, I was pretty sure going in that if my factory did fail, it would be down to some sort of minor attention to detail, little stupid little thing like that. Oh well. Okay, that was fun though, in a rather sort of frantic and hectic way. Um, so yes, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you'll come back tomorrow and join me for the judging and going through and seeing what everyone else has produced. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's entries, and yeah, I think it's going to be very, very, very interesting. This might have been my shortest stream ever. I'm sort of trying to think of other things to talk about to extend it a little bit, but I think rather than doing that, I'll let you all go. You can all go off and build up your own factories and try and remember your final inserters and cables and things. And then, well, we'll we shall see tomorrow. See how everyone's done. So, as ever, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope lots of you are out there working on your factories, or if you're not yet, you'll get on. You'll be doing that this evening, and you'll have something sent over to me tomorrow. And the more entries we have, the better. I will probably be running through them significantly sped up because I don't actually know how long to expect one of these factories to take to build a rocket. And I don't really want to run mine until tomorrow because I want to leave I want to have actual proper sort of live reactions of my dismay and despair when things don't go as planned. Um, so yeah. Oh, I just thought of another thing I forgot that I was planning to do. Oh well, never mind. I mean, that's not a break of the thing. It's just something that might have made things a little bit different, a little bit better. Right. Well, I look forward to receiving entries from you all, and we'll go through them tomorrow. So I'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see how everyone's done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Oh, and I've just noticed I didn't turn the game sound on for you. Sorry about that. You just have to listen to me instead of the game the whole way through. Okay, I've got a question. The objective is, yes, to get a vanilla rocket to space and to produce some science. The only mod that we've got is creative mod, which means putting everything down is absolutely free, but you're not allowed to run anything through your factory, so you can't tell whether you've built a factory properly or whether you've just got some dead ends like this that are just going to cause everything to break. So yeah, it's yes, it's a yes. We shall see how it goes. Did you have one tiny fail as well, Peter? Oh no. Oh dear. Right. Yeah. I just like to. I'm just with the forgetting to turn on the game sounds. I'm just annoyed because I like to. I'm. I was going to say I'm a perfectionist. That's not really true. I just like to make things. I feel silly when I've made things not when I've made things not done something properly, which is what this entire stream was about. So yes. Right. I really am going to go this time, I think. Unless anyone's got any other questions, do feel free to jump in. I'm happy to wait. Oh dear. Was that your because so Giant Lobster is one of the admins, so he had to go early. Was it is it your and I believe you were you doing a second attempt as well? So if you had a second, you found another two problems with your second attempt, have you? Oh no, a single missing power pole. Well, okay, so if I think, ooh, I don't know. If you've missed one power pole and I've missed one inserter and some red cables, I don't know. I think that might give you the win. I think. I don't. We shall see. Maybe some Rockstar will come in and have an actual functioning factory. We shall see. Oh, problems in the second as well. Oh no. I mean, I haven't tested mine yet. There may be other problems in here. It may be just horrible and broken. We shall see. I think I think I've got all the power poles I need because I've been fairly carefully going around looking at the map, trying to make sure all of them are linked up, which they are. And then I had a quick scan round with one in my hand, looking for any blue highlights that were missing. Oh, I remember to check the auto launch with cargo. I just forgot to put in any cargo. Oh dear. There's going to be a lot of despair tomorrow. Yeah, I remember that one, but yeah, I forgot. But there's no way there's any cargo is going to get into it. So. There might. It's possible there's a belt feeding onto the wrong belt somewhere in here. There's a lot of belts around, so it's possible that somewhere there might be something like where these are the wrong way round or something like that. Um, I don't know. I mean, I was trying to be fairly careful, but we shall see. If anyone who's playing this, now I'll put this in the Discord as well, but if anyone who's been playing has anything they want to say about how they were approaching it, so if they like, for example, I started building from the beginning and then worked through from smelting to making the green circuits to the red circuits, the blue circuits, and so on. Somebody else, I think Mike said he was working from the opposite end, so he put down the rocket silo and then was trying to make the control modules and the fuel and so on to go into that. So he was working backwards from the end back to the beginning. So if you want to tell me about anything you've done that's sort of interesting, funny, peculiar, just how you've approached things, then let me know and I'll talk about whatever you've said in the stream as well. But as I say, I'll talk about that in the Discord as well, just to give everyone that sort of challenge. Uh, yeah, so Tristan on his second run is attempting, as he says, to do no pipes and no pumps because Mike is a sadist and Tristan's a masochist. Mike is attempting to do, was it no belts that you went for? So you're both crazy. I look forward to seeing your monstrosities, and I'm sure everybody else does as well. So please come back tomorrow, and we'll take a look at those. Right, I think I am going to sign off now because I want to let my brain cool down a little bit. So, thank you everyone for watching. Come back tomorrow for the judging and the playing through. I don't know. What do you think, chat? Do you want to see what Mike's been making, or should we come back? Or should we wait until tomorrow and see his monstrosity then? Oh, you've got a small number of belts. Hmm. I'll be interested to see where your points are, where you've had to put in a belt. Of course, the thing that didn't occur to me is I can launch a rocket just by standing up because there's one on my t-shirt. So if I just do this and yeah, there we go. I've launched a rocket already. Does that count? Yeah, I think you're right, Tristan. I think seeing it in action tomorrow without too many spoilers would be better. Right. Yep. I'm gonna go. I've said this is about the fifth time I've said it now, and I actually mean it this time. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, and then we'll see how much dismay and despair comes from everyone when we run their factories. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.